Hello everyone, welcome back to today's class. Dear students, in this class I am going to start very new chapter in physics, that is electricity. First let us see what are all the topics we have to study in this chapter. We have to know about electric current and circuit, electric potential and potential difference, circuit diagrams, Ohm's law, factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends, resistance of a system of resistors, heating effect of electric current, and last topic is electric power. These are the very important topics we have to deal in this chapter. Children, in this class I am going to tell you only the basic things which we require to understand this chapter. Hence, first let me start from atom. Tiny particles of matter is called atom. It means we all are surrounded by many different objects. All these objects are substances made up of matter, and the matter is made up of tiny particles. Those particles we call atom. Atoms are made up of three kinds of smaller particles called protons, neutrons and electrons. It means atom further divided into three particles. What are the names of those particles are protons, neutrons and electrons. The nucleus, center of the atom, contains protons, means positively charged particles, and the neutrons means no charge or neutrally charged. Electrons means negatively charged, revolve around the nucleus in shells. It means inside the atom there will be a center. The center we call it as nucleus. Nucleus contains protons. To make you to understand this in a better way, let me take a figure here, children. It is a structure of atom. So inside the atom, this we call it as nucleus. Nucleus contains protons. Proton means positively charged particles. Neutron means neutrally charged particles. It means nucleus contains positively charged particles as well as neutrally charged particles. Then where do we find electrons? And what kind of charges these are? Electrons are negatively charged particles, and these we can find in the shells which are revolving around the nucleus. Look at the negatively charged particles here, children. These all are negatively charged particles. These are called electrons, and these electrons are present in their respective shells. Shells means that you already studied in 9th standard in chemistry. The imaginary lines around the nucleus are called shells. It means these electrons will be present in shells, and these electrons will be revolving around the nucleus. So these are the things you wanted to understand from atom. Next, let us move on to another basic thing, that is electric charge. It is a property of matter to attract or repel materials. Try to understand, charge is nothing but property of matter. So you studied that matter means which occupies the space and which has the mass. So that is the basic property of matter. So similarly, matter has another property, that is whether it attracts or repels the material. That is only we call it as charge. In charge, we can see two types. One is positive charge and another one is negative charge. And charge is denoted by a letter called Q, and the SI unit. SI means International System Unit of electric charge is Coulomb, and it is denoted by C. And more about this you will learn when I start the chapter, children. So next point is very important. same charges repel, whereas opposite charges attract each other. To make you to understand this, let me take a suitable figure here. See, in the first, I have taken two positive charges. When I brought two positive charges, both are repel each other. Both are going in different direction. You can observe here. Both are going in opposite direction because same charges always repel each other. So similarly here, I have brought negative charges. So both are repel each other. And look at the last one. In the last, I have brought one positive charge and another one is negative charge. It means when I brought the opposite charges, both gets attract. So from this, what you wanted to understand is like charges, otherwise same charges repel each other, but opposite charges always attract. Next, let us know about charging a body. It means how a body gets charged. So for example, you rub your two hands, palms of hands you rub well, your hands gets heated because your hands gets charged. It means when two bodies are rubbed with each other, they get charged. Example, when glass rod rubbed with silk cloth, electrons move from glass rod to silk. Then glass rod acquired positive charge and silk acquired negative charge. Look at the figure here. I have taken a glass rod as well as silk cloth. So now if we rub these together for some time, the both gets heat up. The electrons which are present in glass rod moves to the silk. And you may ask why electrons only has to move. You could have seen the structure of an atom. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus, but protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus. Electrons are present outside the nucleus. It means the electrons which are revolving around the nucleus, those electrons, electrons which are present in valence shell. Valence shell means outermost shell. So all these things you would have studied in your chemistry. I repeat again, children, electrons which are present in outermost shell called valence shell. So those electrons jump from glass rod to silk. Hence, here you can easily understand, children, now this rod gets positive charge and this silk cloth gets negative charge. So very important to understand why this glass rod has got positive charge and why this silk cloth has got negative charge. See, before rubbing the things in glass rod, number of protons is equals to number of electrons. But when I had rubbed, the negative charges which are present in glass rod has jumped into a silk cloth. Hence, here in glass rod, number of positive charges has increased. But negative charges are decreases. When negative charges are decreases, automatically it will be positive. But in silk cloth, few more negative charges have been added. Hence, it has got negatively charged particles. Hence, glass rod is positive, silk cloth have got negative charges. So next, let us move on to another thing. Depending upon conductivity, the substances, they are of three types. The first is conductors, second is semiconductors, and the third one is insulators. So first let us see about conductors, children. Very simple it is. Materials that allow electric current through them easily are called conductors. So this you would have studied in your earlier classes, children. The materials which allow electric current easily through them are called conductors. Example, copper, gold, iron. You would have seen in your house, for all electric purpose, they would have used copper wire. Why? Because copper is good conductor of electricity. And outside you would have observed aluminum wire will be used to make electricity to flow. Hence, aluminum is also good conductor. So here gold, copper wire and iron, all these are example for conductor. Next, semiconductors. The name itself is saying semi. Semi means which is not fully. It means partially. The materials that allow some amount of electric current through them are called semiconductors. It means semiconductors will not allow electric current fully. Partially it will allow. It means only some amount of electric current will be allowed through semiconductors. So example, silicon, gallium. So here you can observe the silicon, which is just similar to stones. So next, insulators. The materials that do not allow electric current through them are called insulators. Example, wood, plastic, rubber. You would have seen electricity never be flow through wood as well as in plastic as well as in rubber. See, these are rubber gloves. Why electricians use rubber gloves or wear rubber slippers? Because electric current never flows through the rubber. So all these are examples for insulators. Next, let us move on to the last basic concept, children, that is types of electricity. You may have doubt here. Without studying electricity, why we are moving to learn the types of electricity? So this is the basic thing. Easily you can understand. Here we have two types, children. First one is static electricity. It is a type when electric charges develop but do not flow. Example, charges developed by glass rod and silk cloth. See, in earlier slide we learned an experiment. So when we rub silk cloth with glass rod, their electric charges got developed, but after some time it loses the same thing. It never flows. It means wherever electric charges develop but do not flow, those are called static electricity. Now can you give one more example for static electricity? Yes. Take a comb and piece of papers and comb your hairs well and bring comb near to piece of papers. The comb attracts piece of papers, and after some times automatically all papers will fall down because there also electric charges develop but they do not flow. And this is for static electricity. Next, let us see for second type, that is current electricity. It is a type when electric charges develop in motion. Example, electric current used to run appliances. So look at the figure here. I have connected a bulb to battery. So as soon as I connect battery to the bulb glows because here electric charges develop in motion. Electric charges are in motion due to the chemicals which are present in the battery. So it means battery is doing some work because of electric current is flowing, hence the bulb is glow. So this is about current electricity. Dear students, I hope you have understood all these basic things. These are the things you require to learn about this chapter. I hope understood. Thank you.